What's up, you guys? White light, no robe, raw story video. And today I'm talking about why it's better to be broke as a man. Hear me out. If you're broke right now, hear me out. If you're a rich man right now, take notes. This applies to you too. It's very difficult to be a rich man and be growing as much as a broke man is growing. If you guys take my advice on raising your testosterone, one of the side effects of having high testosterone is that you like to take high risks. So I risked it all. I risk it all routinely with my money. And it doesn't always pan out. Sometimes you risk it all and you lose it all. So yeah, I risked it all, lost it all, broke. So maybe I'm coping. But I've noticed this. Every time I have lots of money, like I get a windfall of some sort. I've never had a job, never lived that 9-to-5 job, steady income lifestyle. My money's always going up and down dramatically. So and I've noticed this when my money goes up, I get a huge windfall. I start to slack on my self-development, my personal development habits. I start to kind of ignore that. I stop tracking habits. I start waking up late because I'm out late at night, going on dates, drinking alcohol, fucking women, just enjoying life. Pleasure, comfort, ease. I have money, who cares? I'm not thinking about the future. I'm thinking about just enjoying myself right now. And then when I'm very low on money, when I'm broke, I wake up early, I train harder, I'm much more disciplined, I'm sober. When I'm struggling financially, that struggle, this is where life happens. This is where you grow as a man, in the struggle. If you're not struggling, you're not growing. So if you're a rich man, you need to self-inflict some kind of struggle. Since you're not struggling financially, you have to have some kind of ritual, some kind of discipline that you adhere to, even though you're not struggling financially, so you can continue to grow as a man. When life is easy, you don't grow, you stagnate. This became very clear when I was hanging out with my wealthy friend. He has an online business, makes millions of dollars, and his lifestyle is just flying around on private jets, high-class escorts, champagne. It's not a very healthy lifestyle. And I'm sure I would indulge in the same type of activities if I had that kind of money. Fortunately for me, I don't have that kind of money right now. And this struggle forces me to be disciplined. And this is where real growth happens. When you're down bad, you're forced to get better. People don't just magically decide, oh, I want to improve myself. I want to be a better human being than I am today. We have to be forced into it. It has to happen out of necessity. This is how this YouTube channel came about. My wife left me, took all my money. And after a period of drowning my sorrows with drugs and alcohol and casual sex, I started to think, like, how am I going to set up my life as a solo man, as a single man? And I started to live healthy. I started to wake up early. I started to go to the gym consistently. I started to learn more about nutrition and fitness and health. And I'm so grateful for that period. It was a good year of suffering after my wife left me, where I was forced into just discipline and grind, and the pain and suffering and grief, I had to just get through it. And the best way to get through it is to be disciplined and to live a low dopamine lifestyle. So for 12 years in my marriage, we were making good money, easy money, fast, easy money, and splurging it. So living a life of hedonism, pleasure, comfort, ease for a long time. And I look back at that period as wasted opportunity. I could have used my 20s to build myself as a man. I could have built a sustainable business instead of just getting quick, easy money all the time. I could have bought non-volatile assets. I could have bought Bitcoin instead of like meme coins that went to zero. I did buy some Bitcoin, but it got liquidated. So, but yeah, this whole video is because I recently got liquidated in crypto. I went all in. I even went all in with my rent money. So I had my rent money, obviously, and I was like, actually, let me just go even further balls deep into this bet that I have on Ethereum. Fuck Ethereum. Put all my money into that. Like, when it was at like 4K, I was like, okay, it's gonna hit new all-time highs pretty soon. And it went the opposite way. So, but my conviction didn't waver. When it hit like 3,400, I remember 3,420. I was like, okay, 420, let's buy a bunch. And as it was like going lower down to like 3,000, I was putting more and more money into it with leverage. If you check the price right now, it's like 2,400. So it went the opposite way. Instead of going to like 6,000 like I thought, it went the opposite. Got liquidated, lost everything. This is the downside of having high testosterone. You take high risks. But when you lose it all, which I did, this is the struggle that makes you who you are. I bet you, all you guys, all you young guys who are struggling financially right now, I bet you if you could just like snap your fingers and be rich, your life would suck worse. There would be no meaning to your life. It's like having a cheat code. It's like you're playing a game and you care about the game. The game is so meaningful. Have you ever done this? And then you put in a cheat code to have like infinite money. The game loses all meaning. You stop playing. You don't give a fuck anymore because it doesn't matter. You have a cheat code for infinite money and it just loses all meaning. So the joy, the happiness, the meaning in life is found in the struggle. If you're not struggling, you're kind of bored with life. You kind of feel depressed. This happens to a lot of guys who build a business and then they exit for like a huge sum of money. And then they feel depressed until they start a new project. Because the joy and the fulfillment is found in the struggle. It's when you're struggling. It's when you have so many limitations on you and you have to be creative. Like right now, I have to be creative. I haven't paid my rent in like 2 months. I have to be creative, sell some things, get a smaller apartment. And this is actually good for my mentality because I have too much stuff. So I get to minimize my life, get rid of hopefully as many possessions as possible. Getting rid of those possessions gives me cash. I use the cash to get a smaller home. And now I'm more focused on this, on providing value to you guys. This is what I want to do. I want to record videos, impart my wisdom, impart my experience, particularly with women and dating and like female nature. This seems to be the topic you guys are most interested in. And to be honest, I'm very interested in it as well. So yeah, this will free up mental bandwidth, having less things and having less distractions so I can do what actually brings meaning to my life. Every day when I sit down to record a video for you guys, I only record videos when I wake up early, I drink black coffee, and then afterward I go to the gym. So like doing these things makes me feel better than any amount of money. If I suddenly, like, if I'm gambling on crypto and I make a fuck ton of money, I would not be recording this video. I would probably skip the gym for a week because I'm hungover, because I'm going on dates with girls, I'm drinking alcohol, I'm smoking weed, I'm just enjoying life. And this is what happens to guys who become successful. They get a little bit of success and then they fuck it off. They cash in their chips too soon. They lose their discipline and then they lose their money. Their business goes down and then the cycle repeats itself. But we need these moments, we need these dips in our life to motivate us, to force us to grow as a man and get to the next level. The measure of a man is not his success. It's how many times he loses it all and then gets knocked down and then gets back up and gains it all and then some. The most successful guys you know have probably failed multiple times. I think I watched something with Alex Hormozy talking about how his first 9 businesses, he starts a business, it fails, starts another one, it fails 9 times. Imagine doing it over and over again, starting something, losing it all, failing, and then trying again, and then failing again. And now he's worth like 9, 10 figures, I don't know. But this is the struggle. This is what builds you as a man. This is how you become who you are. It's through the struggle. It's not from success. It's not from achieving something and coasting. When I was younger, I used to think, oh, I want to become a millionaire and then I'm just going to hang out with 10 supermodels on a beach with a yacht and a mansion. And if you've ever done something similar to that, you'll know how empty and unfulfilling it is. It's fun in the moment, but looking back at those times, you're like, yeah, I could have done without that. And then the opposite is true when you look back at the struggles, the times you struggled. You're like, oh man, those were like the best times. When you're older and successful, you're going to look back at these days now when you're struggling, when you're broke, when you have to grow, you have to get better, you have no choice, you're forced to be disciplined. You're going to look at these days as the best days. Because this is where you forge yourself as a man. This is where you become who you are. It's not when you're enjoying your success. It's not when you're traveling in luxury and having sex with beautiful women. This is not the best days. The best days are when you're struggling, when you're working hard, when you're disciplined, when you're growing as a person. So this is my raw story. It's better to be broke as a man. It's better to struggle. If you're struggling right now, embrace it. Be grateful for it. And I feel sorry for all these guys who just grew up rich and had like rich parents and had everything handed to them. They're living a life like the video game where you get the infinite money cheat code. It doesn't feel good. It's not fulfilling. I've made 200K plus per year for many years. And that lifestyle was like very unfulfilling and depressing compared to now when I'm completely broke because I wasn't struggling. I was struggling in different ways, but this is a much better struggle. Struggle in solitude, struggle in silence, struggle on your own. And then when you achieve success, hang out with people, enjoy life, and then get right back to the grind, right back to the struggle, because that's where you build yourself as a man. So for all the broke guys out there, I guarantee you, you are more fulfilled and have more meaning in your life than the rich men who are not struggling, because those guys, there's a good chance that they're complacent, they're stagnating, they're not growing as a person. When you have money, you don't have motivation to struggle and grow. So for all the broke guys out there, be grateful that you're broke. As long as you're struggling, it's actually possible to be broke and not struggle. You can just be getting by, smoking weed, and like for me, it motivates me, but I understand it's possible to be broke and it's not motivating you. You're just complacent anyway. You're stagnating anyway. I would rather be rich and stagnating than broke and stagnating, but I would rather be broke and growing than rich and stagnating. It's also more attractive to women. A woman would rather a man who's going up in the world and he's broke but he's going up like a starving artist than a rich guy who is maybe he's getting a little richer but his health is not improving, his fitness is not improving, and he's just not growing as a man. Women are more attracted to the men whose trajectory is going up than men who have success but they're not going up anymore, they're just stagnating. The energy and the vibe is completely different when you're struggling and growing and being forced to grow by your life circumstances. All right, you guys, it's going to be a disciplined day for me. I'm having a perfect day. All 11 good habits are getting done because I'm broke and I'm struggling, and I'm going to crawl my way out of this hole like I always do. And I'm grateful for the struggle. I truly am grateful. I love my life. I love my fate. I love everything that happens to me. Amor fati, as Nietzsche said. I used to think it was the Stoics, but actually Nietzsche coined the term amor fati, to love your fate. This is a very powerful idea. Love your fate no matter what happens to you. All the pain, all the suffering, and all the joy. Love all of it. All right, you guys, that's it for today. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.